Hey everybody, Justin Cena here. How's it going? I'm going to show you how to make money by understanding that data is king on Shopify. And hopefully you've already heard the saying, data is king, data never lies. Data is one of the most valuable parts of your business and something that you may not even be paying attention to. So I'm going to make sure that you are definitely fully aware of the benefits of data and you fully understand why data is always king. But before we could talk about any of these different strategies and different formulations based on data, we really need to understand that data is only as powerful as you make it. And by that, I mean not only analyzing the data, but being able to accurately collect it. And I think, that is the number one kind of prerequisite to doing anything that you see in this video. You need to be accurately collecting data. I'll show you a couple different ways to do that in a Shopify app that can do that at the end of this video. But you're not going to be able to really drive any decisions based on data if you're not sure that the data is accurate. If you're not sure where to get it, if you're not sure what it means and how to kind of translate numbers into decisions. So that's the biggest thing. Hopefully you have some type of analytics that you've already been looking at, and then that will make this a little bit more easy to understand. If you don't, then like I said, just follow along and I'll show you over the shoulder how to kind of collect all this data. But there's a big danger in any type of data-driven business like e-commerce, and that danger is running with assumptions. If you think that your customer is a 65-year-old woman, but the stats tell you that it's a 25-year-old male, you're probably going to go out of business pretty quickly. And of course, that's an extreme example, but the point is you can't make assumptions. You need to let data speak for itself. You need to let your business make decisions not on your assumption, not on your personal feelings, but on actual data. And I'll give you a couple of really powerful examples in a little bit. But one that I love giving, I'll kick it off with this one, is really with print on demand. And let's say you're running a t-shirt design or a canvas design, and you're super happy with the design. You think it looks really great, and you think you'd buy it yourself, and you show it to your mom, and she thinks it's awesome, and she prints it out and puts it on her fridge, and you feel all proud, but no one buys it. And you look at the data, and no one's clicking on it. And your click-through rate is super low, and you're wasting all this money on it, and you think it's so great. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what your assumption is. It only matters what the data says. This isn't a place where you can get a participation trophy. This is business, and you need to produce something good. You need to understand that your personal opinion on it is meaningless. It's worthless. Data is very valuable, and regardless of your own assumptions, you need to let the data make the decisions for you. So here are some of the most important data points, and then I'll go over some specific examples of how you can make money by understanding these data points. Site conversion data, right? Talking about conversion rate, clicks, sales. Competitor data, who's your competition, really just living inside your niche, knowing really what's going on. Advertising data, this is probably the most important in my opinion. How are your ads performing? What are your key advertising metrics? Right? Niche data, what products are being sold in your niche? What do buyers actually want to buy? Pricing data, how do you maximize your profit? What's the best price for upsells? What are the products most likely to result in average order values that are higher than, let's say, $100? You could figure out all of this information just by looking at the data. And really, there are some very specific examples that I'll share that you could implement right now and will directly and immediately make you more money if you fix any of these issues that the data basically calls attention to. Right? And remember, understanding the data is different than just collecting the data, right? I want you to, obviously, you need to be collecting the data. Again, I'll go over the shoulder and show you how, but you need to really understand how to collect the data, why you're collecting the data, and then most importantly, how to analyze what the data is saying. So think about these examples. These are all very relevant for you in any type of e-commerce business, Shopify, ClickFunnels, it doesn't matter. These different data points are super relevant and helpful. And there are great examples of how you can make money with data. And site conversion data, right? Think about this example. Let's say you're able to look at the conversion rate between different products, right? Across your entire site, and you see one product you didn't really notice, you weren't really driving that much advertising to, but the conversion rate is 20% compared to your other products that are 5%. Okay, that data right there is going to tell you, okay, I need to go and focus on that product. I need to start running some more ads. I need to do retargeting. I need to focus my attention there. Right? The same example can be given for split testing. Let's say you have product descriptions where they're very long, and then you have product descriptions that are very short. You could split test these pages, look at the stats, you look at the conversion rate, and that literally tells the story. You say, okay, well, I changed the descriptions to long instead of short, and my conversion rate is much higher. Right? That directly gives you more money. Competitor data, right? This is basically understanding your niche. researching what's going on with your competition. Advertising data, this directly makes you more money, right? Think about if you're able to just look at a bunch of numbers and it will tell you, okay, this is where your customers come from, right? Analytics like the one I use literally will say, okay, you're more likely to make a sale from Facebook ads than from Google ads, or you're more likely to sell this product to someone who comes from Google than someone who comes from Facebook. That's super powerful. That type of data, that's the data that I run my entire business on, and I let that dictate all of the decision making in there. It doesn't matter what my assumption was. It doesn't matter what I have a warm, fuzzy feeling inside about it. So it's about what my analytics tell me, I use Sensai Metrics, what you're going to see the app, what that tells me in terms of the actual data, right? Where do my customers come from? Who's my best future customer? Where should I spend my money on ads? It even goes as far as to tell you what percentage of your budget you want to allocate. It's one of my favorite features. It's called budget allocation. I'll definitely talk about that in a little bit. But data can really dictate your entire business, right? Where should you spend your money on ads? That's especially for businesses that run a lot of, let's say, Facebook ads. That drives your entire profit, your entire bottom line. Being able to integrate data into that is incredibly powerful, right? Niche data, which products perform better than others inside of a niche. Pricing data, what type of customers spend the most. What products are most likely to be purchased from, let's say, Facebook visitors, or which prices have the highest conversion rate. Right? All this data directly helps you make money. So I'm going to go over the shoulder. I'm going to show you exactly how to get data like this. I use Sensai Metrics. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You see the link directly below this video. First of all, let me say I highly recommend them, and you're going to see exactly why. But there are just so many data points there that are incredibly digestible. They literally have just plain English in terms of literally telling you, okay, Facebook ads are more likely to produce a customer than Google ads for this product. And you could literally even ask it things like, okay, what am I going to be more likely to get a sale with, Facebook or Instagram? And it can look at the data, use the algorithms, and it literally tells you how. So I'm going to go over the shoulder right now, and I'll show you Sensai Metrics. This is Sensai Metrics. And really the awesome part is you're going to be able to start for free. You're going to be able to start immediately. And all you need to do is just take a look at the link directly below this video. You'll come over here to sensaimetrics.io, start for free, and I'll show you exactly how to get integrated in a second. It's literally just copy and paste and you get in there. But I want to show you a little bit more about their websites. They integrate with really every single important data point. We're looking at obviously Facebook analytics, Shopify, right? Talking about for Shopify sellers, but you see all the different platforms that they integrate with. And really the thing that turned me on to Sensai Metrics was the idea about data-driven decisions. And I kind of mentioned how that's so important, right? Letting the data drive your decision-making process, and really let it drive your entire business. What we're able to do here are just see tons of different data points. And you see this is actually my favorite one right here, budget allocation. Shows you how much you should spend on what platform. Talk about customer journey in terms of when do people become a customer? Is it the first interaction? Is it the last interaction? Is it an intermediate interaction? Metrics by source and channel, right? These are just literally plain text things like that you could understand. It's not only about capturing the data, but it's about showing it in a digestible way. And I'll show you all this over the shoulder, but definitely take a look at the link below this video. Make sure you check them out. You can get your free trial. Come over here and start free trial. And literally all you need to do is just copy and paste your .myshopify.com URL here, and you'll be able to get that free trial going. And this is a demo of the dashboard I want to show you here, and just show you on the back end, show you on the inside, really exactly what's going on, and really why this is so powerful, and why I think you're going to want to use it very quickly. This dashboard right here is going to be where you see everything, right? Because you're going to obviously track the data, you're going to understand the data, you're going to read it in plain text, you're going to see great visuals as you see on the screen here. And this is where all those great features that you could see again on this site, this is where you're going to access all of them. Budget allocation, customer lifetime value, custom insights, customer journeys, which I mentioned. Here's some custom insights where you could literally create a report basically in plain text in just basic English. You don't need to analyze any data. It literally tells you, okay, a user from here compared to a user from there is more likely to buy. And it literally tells you, yeah, it's 2.9x times more likely, or 3.9x times less likely, right? You literally can just see that. It's super powerful. And really, I think that's one of the biggest things to kind of understand. A lot of people will say, oh, I already have Google Analytics. Well, Sensai Metrics integrates with Google Analytics in terms of it pulls some data from there, but it's not just about having, numbers and massive amounts of data, right? Google Analytics has one type of data in there, but it doesn't really do a good job of kind of making it simple and easy to understand. So hopefully I can show you that in action here inside of the dashboard. So making this super relevant to you, you can think about this. You're let's say a print on demand or a drop shipping Shopify seller, and you want to really dig into your data. You want to start to understand kind of what the data is telling you to do, and then leverage that while you're running your business. So I'll show you again. This is the dashboard over here, and you see the overview. We're on the dashboard section, and these are some predictions for a 30-day time period. You see how much money that we're predicted to make, how many sessions we're predicted. Now, obviously, these are not guarantees. You don't see into the future, but the whole idea here is that we're using the data, right? If we've been doing around $100,000 for each of the past few months, we've been consistent at it, right? Or maybe we've been growing 80, 85, 90, 95, right there. We're going to predict where we're being at using the data. And here's an overview of the last period. And you could change the period dates, right? This is just a last 30-day view over here, right? Looking at our revenue, looking at the sessions, looking at our ad spend. And again, this integrates with so many different data points. This is why it's so powerful. I really, love seeing the social ad data right in there. And of course, it integrates with Shopify as well. So it's going to get all of the 100% accurate ad data here. So of course, this is, in terms of collecting data, it's going to collect very accurate data, no doubt about that. You see some of, again, the marketing, you see what marketing channels are driving the most, not only in terms of clicks, but in terms of revenue, and should be proportionate here. You see Google outperforming Facebook a little bit in this example. But I want to show you some really cool things over here. And we're going to come under, and here's customer lifetime value, otherwise known as CLV. Here's the marketing, where I'll go into budget allocation in a second. Here's conversion rates, right? Sales stats. And again, since it directly integrates with Shopify, we have product by product stats as well. This is a great thing as well. But I want to come under here, budget allocation. This is incredibly powerful, right? And really, this is the first tool that I've seen be able to leverage this information and then have algorithms that can actually dictate with high certainty what you should be doing. And if you see over here, it's literally talking about your estimated revenue. And again, this isn't just based on just what their opinion is. It's based on the data in your store. We're talking about having to calculate or to basically get our $95,000 of revenue. This is how we should divide our budget. These are the amount of sessions that we need to bring in. This is the audience size that we need to have, right? All of these different powerful data points literally telling us we should be spending $13,019 on Instagram. And why is it telling us that? Because the data supports that. We have data in here saying, okay, here's where the revenue is coming from. It's coming from Instagram, it's coming from Facebook, it's coming from Google. And if we want to achieve these numbers, it literally goes in depth and tells you based on the algorithm where you should be dividing your marketing budget, where you should be spending your attention, right? Incredibly powerful. And you see some great visuals here as well, right? Pretty much the same information. Here's a distribution of the audiences you need per source, just in terms of audience size. And again, distribution of revenue. Really, really very powerful things in both cases, but this is very, very unique and powerful in that it literally can go into your social ad data, into your ad reports on Instagram, on Facebook, on Google Shopping, and all Google AdWords, and literally tell you how much you need to spend. So incredibly unique, incredibly powerful. This alone, I think, is a killer feature. And this is just one of, obviously, many different dashboards here that we have in terms of actually kind of going over some of the different parts of your business that have data attached to them. Now, I love showing the customer lifetime value dashboard here. First of all, it talks, and you can of course read through this, talking about the different definitions of the types of customers, safe, at risk, or you could of course just click over here and it tells you exactly what they define as an at-risk customer. These are customers who are either buying less than they used to or less than what they'd be expected to buy. And of course, these are numbers that you should absolutely understand. Your average customer lifetime value for repeating customers broken down at $1,400, for one-time customers at $500. You see obviously over here the value in your repeat customers. And again, accessing this data, literally seeing that a repeat customer makes $900 more for you than a one-time customer, lets you kind of dictate, okay, I need to integrate into my marketing plan, maybe my email marketing, do some segmenting, create a VIP list. I need to get repeat customers and I need to nurture them. And why would you make that decision? Because literally the data tells you that. Right? It literally tells you that, and you could export all this into a little list builder, and we have all that. Obviously, it's just a little test dashboard here, but you'd be able to export all of your info there and search through it, et cetera, et cetera. But really powerful there. And again, in terms of the visuals there as well, right? It's striking when if you're just looking at a spreadsheet or if you're just looking at analytics, right? You might not notice you might find your customer lifetime value, but what about the breakdown in terms of the cohorts here? the repeating customer group versus the one-time customers, is the amount of difference in money, the amount of difference in profit that you'll make if you could really leverage data the correct way. Let me show you a really powerful example. I'm actually over here in the CLV, the customer lifetime value section, and I'm in the list builder. I'm looking at different audiences here. And you see that we have different cohorts of audiences automatically created. We're just under the customers section over here. We have top customers and safe at risk lost customers. Demographics, we have information here as well. Product, and of course we can create our own custom list. But let's talk about how powerful just this section is alone right here. How about we come right over here, we click export audience. We can export this entire list of top customers. You see there are 24 different rows here. Be able to export all of these customers. And for example, you could upload them into your Facebook ads. And of course, you'd be able to make a lookalike audience off of your top customers, right? Imagine a 1% lookalike audience off of your top customers. You could imagine how powerful that would be as a Facebook ads audience. On the flip side, you can come down here, you could export your quote unquote at-risk customers. You could put it into MailChimp or to Klaviyo, and then you could send them a campaign or an autoresponder or some type of messaging to increase retention, to get them to come back, to come to entice them to come and check you out again, and hopefully renew their purchasing with you, buy something new, or buy a gift or something to kind of take them out of that at-risk cohort and get them back in to buying our products and giving us money. So just a couple of different examples, and of course you could build your own custom list as well and get really smart in terms of the filtering here. But just a couple examples that are super powerful and can immediately make you money just inside here, the CLV list builder audiences section. Up next, custom insights. These are great. You could also build new insights as well. It's a really easy, just drag and drop. You could literally just go in here and say, is a user who visits from Facebook more likely to purchase compared to a visitor that comes from Bing, right? For example, right? These are just obviously you could build them with whatever you want. You see some of the ones that we built over here. Is a user who comes from Facebook more likely to purchase than a user who comes from Instagram, right? This isn't like some weird data that you need to extrapolate. This isn't like a different language that you need to understand. This is just, plain text, plain English. You as a business owner, you'd always ask yourself this question: am I gonna should I spend my money on Facebook ads or Instagram ads? Well, you could have assumptions, you could have hunches. What you have here is pure, backed by data decision making, which is incredibly powerful, right? How about in a user who buys? Okay, this is a test product. Are they more likely to make a purchase in the next sessions than a user who buys? And this is another test product name. And they're saying no. He's 3 times less likely to do that. All plain text, plain English, right? Very powerful. Is a user who comes from search, okay, that's Google search, are they more likely to make a purchase in the same session than a user who comes from Google shopping? Yes. And not only that, but the data says 4 times more likely, right? These are data points and decisions that you can make that drastically affect your business, drastically affect how you can grow your business, how you can scale your business. And you would be blind to all of this if you were not using Sensai Metrics, if you were not looking, in this case, at the custom insights that you have built out here. And of course, you have an unlimited amount that you can build by just going through and using that tool. Here's another powerful one, customer journeys. And again, these are just among the many different dashboards that you have access to here. But we're talking about customer journeys, and it's going to talk about really where did the customer come from, what did they do, and what is their entire look. And also that can extrapolate into a lot of other decision-making points, as you'll see right here. Now, watch how powerful this is. First thing you want to pay attention to is source. Okay, and we have Google search, we have display, we have all the different marketing channels that we have. Okay, so for example, we can come over here and we'll go to Facebook. Okay, you see obviously all the numbers change. Basically, it's saying from all of the users that came from Facebook and ended up buying, they're broken down into 3 different buckets here. Okay, first interaction, basically visitors who came for the first time from Facebook and then came back and bought from another source, meaning intermediate interaction is basically visitors who have already visited your store, then came back from Facebook. So you can think about retargeting. Or visitors who came from the source and completed a conversion in that same session. That's called the last interaction. Basically, they came from Facebook and they bought. Okay, and in this case we see, again, this is just plain text, plain English. Facebook has brought in 126,000 users. The conversion rate is 0.07%. Out of the 95 converting users, 45 did it immediately. So those would be in the last interaction. And then 50 of them came back from other sessions to convert. So the distribution of that, as we're looking over here, and it's actually really these two combined, right? Because they made a conversion on that visit. But we're looking at here again, a breakdown, and you see the different colors over here. There's a big blue for Facebook, right? How much per channel, how much per marketing channel is contributing to each. And we could just change this. Take a look at something over here, right? See different conversion rates, different percentages, right? And we can make a lot of a kind of indication in terms of, okay, where is our best marketing dollar, or where are our first dollars best spent? We're seeing over on Instagram, right? They don't really convert immediately, but retargeting looks pretty good, right? They come back from Instagram, but they might not purchase the first time, right? This is what the data tells you. This isn't a strategy. This is saying, okay, literally the data is telling you that, in comparison on Facebook, 29% will buy right on that source visit, but on Instagram, 83% of them buy on a return visit. So let's do our retargeting on Instagram, and let's do our direct normal Facebook ads or normal marketing ads on Facebook. Okay, there's no guessing here, right? There's no guessing. If you want to understand where sales are attributed to, if it's first visit or last visit, all you need to do is just hover over here, and it tells you exactly. 24% over here on first visit. I bet you we come over here and we see about the same numbers, but you see Google being drastically different. So it tells a huge story. It tells a gigantic story. And all of this is available in easy to understand metrics. These aren't spreadsheets. These aren't just 10,000 numbers. They're basically curated pieces of data that make the most sense. So that's why I highly recommend Sensai Metrics. I know you're going to love it. Make sure you click the link directly below this video to install and set this up. You're going to be able to start collecting data right away. And again, the power is in the data. Data is king. And once you start understanding that and leveraging that data with Sensai Metrics, you're going to make a lot of money. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment over here. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. Otherwise, I know this is going to help you make some money, and I'll talk to you real soon. Thanks.